are so many birds flying over this lake? Of all the natural phenomena I've seen, this is one of the most astounding. I'm Mark Eastburn, and this is Science from All Angles, Nature Near You. Today I'm at Middle Creek Wildlife Preserve in central Pennsylvania, where there's a huge bird migration currently underway. What I've seen on the website says that there are snow geese, tundra swans, and Canada geese currently around. The Canada geese are pretty much full-time residents of this area, but the tundra swans are on their way all the way up to the Arctic, and the snow geese also. So why is it that we have so many birds in the skies and over the waters of Pennsylvania in late February and early March? To answer that question, we need to take a look at some of these animals' needs. First, looking at the snow goose, or snow geese, as more than one of them would be called. They need water, they need food, which in the snow goose's case can be grasses or corn from farmers' fields. They need space, and they need some safety from predators. Snow geese do have some issues with Arctic foxes. But interestingly, snow geese will often nest near snowy owls, which are known for being fierce defenders of their areas, and they will chase the Arctic foxes away. Now let's take a closer look at this migration. We start with North America, where we have the United States. Actually, I need to include Alaska in that drawing. We have Hawaii, which is way off in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Now, Hawaii is still interesting. It does have its own groups of geese, but they aren't the ones that make these huge migrations. We also have Canada, which we will get to a little bit later on. But let's start in the United States. In the wintertime, snow geese spend their time in between California and Nevada, the southern part of California, a little bit of Mexico, in Idaho, Washington, New Mexico, large part of Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, southern Missouri, places in the southern central part of the United States, and then on the East Coast, which is where the geese that I've been watching start their journey each year. This migration begins in February and continues through March, April, May, and then into June when the birds finally reach their nesting grounds in northern Canada and Alaska. By that time, these places in Canada and Alaska have had a chance to warm, and there's plenty of food for these birds to eat while they nest and raise their young. The ice has also melted, so they have water to swim around in and drink. You might have noticed that there's a little bit of color variation in these geese. While most of them have the same, almost all white color with black wings, there are some that are a dark gray color with a white head and the same black wings. This is called a blue goose, although it is actually the same kind of bird. And then if you see one of the much darker birds, that's actually a young blue snow goose. They also seem to find time to cause trouble and chase each other around. Now that our ears are sore from all that honking, let's switch to the next bird that's also on that lake. This bird is quite a bit larger than the snow goose, but it's definitely not as noisy. It has a gentle, soft, whistling call. These tundra swans, or whistling swans as they're also called, are also on a migration. Do you remember the reasons why animals might need to migrate? What are their needs? If you'd like, you can pause this video and see what you might be able to remember. You might have guessed that the tundra swan has many of the same needs as the snow goose. They need water, they need food, which in the case of this swan, not only includes grasses, but it can also include clams and mussels that they dig up from lakes and rivers. They need space, and the tundra swan, being a larger bird, needs more space. And they also need some safety from predators. Now, the Arctic fox, being a fairly small predator, won't be much of a threat to a tundra swan, but an Arctic wolf or a polar bear are other stories. In order to meet their needs every year, tundra swans make their yearly migration. In the wintertime, They can be found on the West Coast, California, northern Nevada, Oregon, Washington, an area where Arizona, California, and Mexico meet, some of New Mexico, northern Mexico, Texas, and also on the East Coast, which is where the Tundra Swans that I happen to see probably came from. From this starting point, these Tundra Swans cross over central Pennsylvania and make their way north to the very northern parts of Canada and Alaska. This is how they will meet their needs for the summertime. And this is the reason why we see such a spectacular gathering of geese and swans over central Pennsylvania in late February each year. This has been Mark Eastburn of Science from All Angles, Nature Near You, and I thank you for watching. Please subscribe below.
This is